scouting. I'll look at the camera, I'll look at you, Joe.
Camera. You look at the camera. When you're ready?
Yeah.
Alright. Johar and hello to everyone. We are here for the pre-match press conference for our season opener versus East Bengal. We have our head coach, Mr. Owen Coyle, here with us, who will be answering the questions from the media. So Owen, firstly, a good 6-week pre-season, just like you wanted. The team combination seems strong from the performances reported in pre-season matches as well. How would you describe the preparation so far?
Yeah, I think we've worked very hard in pre-season, as we had to do. There's obviously been a long layoff, and within that we have to make sure that you don't do too much too quickly. It can lead to injuries and such forth. And we've had little niggles, we've had one or two concerns like every other team will have. But I think hopefully look forward to the East Bengal game. We have a group available that's ready to give their very best. But the pre-season went well, we worked hard, but as always, it's when the season starts, that's what counts. But I think we've worked very hard to get ourselves good in shape physically and mentally, which is really important, particularly in a bio bubble. But the lads have really applied themselves, and they've been a real joy to work with.
So, that's all right. Given the depth of the squad, how confident are you of breaking the playoffs jinx this season, and would not qualifying for the playoffs be considered a failure this season?
Well, I think like anything, we are the same as every team. We want to be in those positions, we want to be challenging to be up there at the very top end. Of course we do, and everybody has aspirations of being winners. That's why it's such a competitive league. What we have done, and certainly the improvement from last year, Jamshedpur was there for everyone to see. Come into the job, I think the last 10 games of the previous season, Jamshedpur took the least points of anybody. So there was a big job to be done. We certainly improved enormously, but not quite enough to be in those playoff positions. Last year although we came very close, and I've got to say one or two things that went away, we would have found ourselves in those positions. That being said, we can't affect what's behind us, what we can affect is what's to come. And we've put a group together that we think can be really competitive and fight about the top end of those for those spots, and that's what we have to do. Obviously we suffered a terrible injury blow with Farouk. I brought him to the club in January because of the belief and trust and I have in him, and knowing that he's going to get better and improve. That being said, it now provides an opportunity for young Boris, young Coleman, these young exciting players that are brought to the club, and that's what they have. They have a coach that's prepared to give young Indian players a chance and work with them and make them better, and that's what I'll look to continue to do.
Again, coming back to the 4 foreigners rule, would that also be a selection headache for you, considering the club has 6 quality foreign players?
Yeah, I've got to say, I think that's a very, very good question. I think that's a real dilemma, because I do believe the 6 foreign players we have got all got fantastic qualities, fantastic attributes. They've shown up really well in pre-season, and of course there's probably if it's a good problem to have, then of course it is. You'd rather have that problem than the players are out of sort, they're not in good shape in respect of they're not performing well. These boys are, and they're great lads as well. So of course, as a head coach, that's a real dilemma, that we can only have 4 on the field at any given time. That being said as well, obviously from last season where it was 5, it now gives an opportunity to another young Indian player. So of course there'll be challenges in picking the 4 from the 6 to take the field at any given time. But equally, the boys that do take the field will be ready to give their all, and that's what we need, because we think, like most teams, will have fantastic individual players, but our strength is always going to be as a group. So that's what you need to bring. You need to be a member of a team, and it's a team that wins, not individuals.
Any updates on how long Farouk will be out, considering he just had a surgery?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it was a really serious injury. Even if Farouk is able to come back this season, I'd be very surprised. But the important thing for Farouk is that he recovers and he goes on. He'll have a fantastic career, and he's a great kid. With so much time for him, I was really looking forward, and certainly going to enjoy his development this season, because he's a very clever, very intelligent footballer. And what I wanted to do, as I done with Shamte at Chennai, was add goals to his games, and I was convinced we could do that, and I know we would do it, because he is such a good lad, such an appetite to improve and listen and learn. Very similar in Shamte in many respects, in that they're hungry, they want to be very good players, and Farouk has all the potential to do that. So in regards to his recovery, I don't expect to have him available for this ISL season, but I do know that when he's fully healthy, which won't be that long thereafter, that he's going to have a glorious career, and all good luck to him.
Any other injuries or niggles in the squad?
Yeah, there is niggles obviously, because we've had boys that have missed the last couple of pre-season games, but they've been able to train now. So ideally they'll have some more training under the belt, but there is one or two that has those little niggles that have missed out on some training, but we've done the basis of, you mentioned 6 weeks, they've done the majority of that, which will stand in a good stead, because your pre-season is obviously designed not just for the first game, it's designed for the whole season, that it serves you well and it gives you that platform and that physicality and the mentality that it takes to undergo those pre-seasons to have you ready for the whole season. So, as I say, I've been delighted with the application and the effort of the lads, and of course what we need to do with those qualities aforementioned, we need to bring the quality with it. We know how hard they work, we know how honest they are in the performances, we want to bring quality with all that, and if we do that, that will always give us a chance of winning games, and that's what we set out to do. Win every game we enter into, we want to win, we want to play in a manner befitting of our fans. We wish we had them with us, supporting us. We'll certainly miss them, that goes without saying. The fans are the lifeblood of the game. The sooner we get them back into the stadiums, the better for everyone. Obviously, health permitting and everybody be safe and well. But I think every team would say the same. We miss our fans. We certainly do, because Jamshedpur, I certainly experienced it my first game in the ISL. Packed stadium, they were vocal, they were colourful. They got behind their team because we were 1-0 up in the game, but they kept staying with their team, kept true to really the ideal of what a supporter is, and that's supporting your team through thick and thin. So we're certainly missing Jamshedpur fans. My message for them is keep supporting, from afar at the moment, but we know through our media team the message to get through to us, and we'll do our very best to give you a team that you can be proud of.
Coming to the season opener versus East Bengal, historically the club has been known to play physical football, and assuming the same philosophy continues, how would you counter that as a manager?
East Bengal?
Yes.
Well, East Bengal is a whole new team in terms of the turnover of players. 6 new foreigners, all very good players. 2 big centre backs, big lad playing in Australia, the Croatian Prici, Misla, Derisevic, who's a champion at Maribor, the central midfielder, Sidoy, the Dutch lad that plays in there, the 2 strikers, Shima, Nigeria, who's won championships in Molde, and Perisevic, who's a very, very talented striker. So they did very well, I would suggest, East Bengal with a form recruitment. And again, they have a number of players that we already know in terms of domestic. Jackie, Amarjeet, Joy, our boys that were with us last year, very, very good players and really good people. And obviously boys like Adil Khan, they've signed one of the top goalkeepers in the league from ATK. So there's no doubt, I think that East Bengal are going to be a very good team. The manager, new staff come in, good manager with good experience, knows football at the highest level. So I think East Bengal are going to be a very good team. We have to make sure we're at our very best, and we'll prepare and give them the utmost respect, but we have to make sure we're at our best. If we're at our best, we always feel that we can win games, and that's what we have to do. But I do know that East Bengal will certainly be a tough challenge in the opening game, that's guaranteed.
Last season out, the couple of times we played East Bengal, even despite playing well, it turned out to be frustrating times with them, because we lost one, we drew one. So how committed would the players be to, considering it's a season opener and playing East Bengal, how committed would the players be to, get the 3 points tomorrow?
Yeah, the players want to win against East Bengal, as East Bengal want to win against Jamshedpur. It's the first, as I say, you've trained, you've done all your pre-season, you've worked so hard, and now obviously the competition starts, and everybody wants to get points as early as we can. So regardless of what happened last season or the season before, or who you played against, it will absolutely have no bearing on the games that you play this season, because it's a new competition, it's new teams, and a lot of teams have changed, and certainly changed personnel. So you have to be ready for that challenge, you have to be ready for the team that you play against, good players coming in and a good team. So the players will be well warned about the threats that East Bengal have, as always, and we have to make sure that we deliver on our performance, and that's the key, because there'll be the utmost respect, as I've said, we'll be aware of the threats,